Hiya! On behalf of everyone at Team Lazerbeam, I'd like to welcome you to the Wrestling with Emotions New Kid on the Block RRV Radical Reveal video.
Wrestling with Emotions is an alt dating sim where your love interests are a diverse cast of muscle babes, and the dates are red hot wrestling matches. There's a lot going on in this game, but today we'd like to share 3 things with you. Here's what's in the RRV. Number 1, meat. Number 2, dateable dreamboats. And number 3, character creation. But before we get into all that, we'd like to introduce ourselves. We are Team Lazerbeam, a punk band that makes video games. Starting up in 2014 as a power trio, we've now evolved to be a 10-piece international supergroup. Here's a quick rundown of who we are.
Hey, I'm Kirsten. I do game design, code, and art.
Hey, I'm Katie, and I do art and animation.
Hey, I'm Job St. Jude, and I'm doing music and writing.
Hello, my name is Alex, and I do writing.
I am Mars, and I do writing.
Hi, I'm Axel, and I do cartoons.
Hi, I'm Jay. I do music.
Hi there, I'm Junior, and I do music and sound design.
I'm Darian, and I do production work at Team Lazerbeam.
And I'm Ben. I do game design, art, and writing.
Our games have covered a lot of different genres, but our focus has always been the same: to explore the idea of video games being the next forefront for punk rock. As Team Lazerbeam, we've done a string of really short, really weird, really cute games that are designed to just make people feel good and feel less alone and feel less like a weirdo because there's other weirdos like us out there. The original Wrestling with Emotions was created very much in line with this, and our goal was really just to be able to deliver maximum impact in the shortest space of time possible. The result was a frantic speed dating experience that players could complete in less than 15 minutes. With the original Wrestling with Emotions being so incredibly short, what would a bigger Wrestling with Emotions look like? The sequel picks up on the surreal tone and humor of the original Wrestling with Emotions, but pushes things to an extreme where we wonder, what are these people's lives really like? What are they like when they're outside the ring? Really just like asking questions to try dig into like, what is this world? And if you were part of this world, what would your life be like? And so the result is a game that simulates a year in the life of the newest rookie in Cuddletown. I should mention early on that this pushes against the idea of games being power fantasies. In this game, you're not the most powerful person in the league. In fact, you're the least powerful person in the league. You're surrounded by all these accomplished, incredible people, and you're initially just on the sidelines trying to catch them in moments when they fly out of the ring or might crash into the announcer's desk. And this is very much in line with a lot of our past work. We're very excited about exploring that idea of putting players in situations where things are kind of awkward or weird, they're stumbling through things, and you're not just this like super powerful, super competent person, which I think is a lot more relatable to people than being like, you're the chosen one, you're so great. Over the course of Wrestling with Emotions 2, it's up to players how much they want to lean into this. If they are actually someone who's quite confident and comfortable, or if they're really super nervous and anxious, it's up to the player to choose how they feel about things. As they play through the story, the writing will start tailoring itself based on the past choices of the player. So eventually your inner dialogue or your dialogue with other people will be shaped by the choices you made early on in the game. One of the biggest choices that you can make in the game is your meat. So our game is set in 1994, and based on my research in the 90s, being a good wrestler was all about meat. Muscle, elegance, attitude, and theatrics. In our game, meat is the central stat pool that'll decide what choices you can make. You're introduced to these stats during your first session at Sweat City, the local wrestling training gym. After they test out your skills in the ring, your coach, Major Malfunction, will inform you that you have meat. You'll use this meat to unlock options in how to deal with life, both in the ring and out of it. The bad news is that all of your meat stats are at 1, and you're going to need to pump them up. Meat training is done at various centers scattered across Cuddletown. Mrs. Muscles is the local gym where you can pump up your bod. Hot Shop is the beauty salon where you can elevate your elegance. Shredding at Thrashers will amp up your attitude. Performing at Drama Queens will power up your theatrics. Players will regularly be able to choose where to do their training. Each training venue has its own boss. These are Muscle Chihuahua, Sequins Dress, Kimbenito, and Jinx Baboon. Reaching the top of any meat stat is a major achievement. You'll need meat to win over the affection of wrestling fans and win the hearts of the Dateable Dreamboats. While our world has a massive cast of lovable freaks and geeks, the Dateable Dreamboats are our 7 core NPCs that the player will be able to develop the most deep relationships with. Introducing Outburst, the volcanic giantess; Radical Ray, the bodacious badass; Irresistible Steve, the hottest thing in the ring; King Pretty Guy, the posh power babe; Matsuri, the full-throttle grapple punk, Arms, the barbarian sweetheart, and Freakshow, the mutant swamp cutie. Dreamboats have their own meat stats, though they're much higher than the players. Their meat stats dictate how likely it is that a dreamboat will be at a venue you visit. On top of meat, dreamboats also have 2 more unique stats, like and feelings. Like measures how much you as the player like this character. Feelings track how strongly a dreamboat feels about you. High feelings might mean someone will give you their number to go out on dates, or want to team up with you in the ring. If you push someone's feelings into the negative, chances are they'd like to put you through a table. Over the course of the in-game year, a socially ambitious player could grow close to 2 or 3 dreamboats, but as with the original Wrestling with Emotions, things ultimately come down to finding your perfect match. We don't have time to delve into the emotional roller coaster that you'll go through with your partner, but it's an integral part of the game. But just as important as the question of who you let into your heart is the question of who you are in the first place. Identity and freedom of choice are at the core of this game, and this all starts with the character creator. First and foremost, playing this game, we want you to really feel that your story is unique and special. That journey starts with building your dream muscle person. Initial character creation in our game happens in 2 parts. Building your muscle babe with Lookout Lovers, then fleshing them out in Strong Cuddles. Lookout Lovers is our high-tech system where wrestlers shape their identities, changing their name and appearance in the process. Once players have assembled a 4-part moniker, they're presented with 3 options. Continue with this look, rework their look, or punch the mirror in disgust. The mirror punching is pretty important. This is a game about someone who's struggling to figure out who they are. If you do punch the mirror, you can bounce yourself back with a quick pep talk. Then, to wrap up character creation, let's take a quick look at your key to Wrestling with Emotions, Strong Cuddles magazine. As you tune into the latest episode of Wrestle Report, you watch Hot Potato and Showbiz break some major news. The latest issue of Strong Cuddles magazine contains an application form to join Wrestling with Emotions. So you grab the magazine, create your persona with LOL, and then complete the rest of the application. This phase allows you to refine your character, establishing details like your pronouns, where you're from, what kind of music you like, and your favorite style of wrestling. All these details are tracked by the game and will be called on down the line. The application is also your first introduction to the Dreamboats. You'll be asked to pick who you most like and who you'd most like to punch in the face. These choices affect the like and feeling stats of these characters, immediately creating a sense of who the player is into and who they're not into. Between these choices and being asked to describe your vibe, from the very start, the game allows players to start building a sense of a personality. Using the stat modifications of these choices, we can then present players with a story and character that feels all their own. There are a lot of other systems that affect the simulation. We've not even touched on our hidden stat pools, bones and guts. And there's so very much more that we're dying to share with people. There's this real cast of side characters in the game, date locations, your home base, the move trainer, and connected match navigator system. We're so stoked with all these elements of Wrestling with Emotions, and think that together they make something that's really like no other game ever. I hope we'll get to share more of these features with you sometime soon. Till then, thanks for watching and stay radical.
Bye!